Hello and welcome to a mod showcase for Farming Simulator 19. This time we will give you a first look on a new GPS mod. Usually we don't talk about unfinished mods, but this one is quite critical for many of us. At this early stage it offers a simple A-B line setting, basically letting you drive in a straight line. There is also a basic menu to configure it and you can set shortcuts. We will also show you how to change color and line size for better visibility, so stay tuned. GPS mod is still in beta and not available as normal mod. You can get the code on GitHub and package it as a mod yourself. You will need an archiver like 7-zip. First, open the link in the video description, it will redirect you to the GitHub page. Now you will notice a green button on the right side stating clone or download. Click on it, choose download zip. It will ask you where to save it. Choose a location you know how to reach because you will have to edit this file. For this example we put it on our desktop. Go to the file location, right click and extract the archive. A new folder will appear. Open it, you should now see the same content as on our screen. If you use 7-zip, you can double click on the zip.bat file to create the mod file, but we will show you how to do it with any archiver. Just select everything, right click and create an archive. The important thing here is to avoid the dash character in the name or FS19 will not recognize the file. Choose a name and save it. The archive you just created has to be put in the mod folder of the game. Then delete the downloaded and extracted files, you don't need them anymore. To test it, start the game and open any save game. It should ask you to choose your mods, and in the list there should now be an entry called Guidance Steering. Select it and start. In-game, open the shop menu and purchase any tractor. There should be a new configuration option to add a GPS to the vehicle. If you see this, the installation process was successful. Once the GPS mod is installed, you can purchase a GPS on any drivable vehicle in-game. Open the shop menu and choose it as configuration. Select a new vehicle and you should see a new entry in the help menu to open the GPS UI. Press Ctrl S to open it. In here there are two tabs with settings. This beta version of GPS offers an A-B line setting, meaning your vehicle will drive in a straight line on lanes with a certain width. It remembers the lane so you don't overlap. For this to work, you have to set up an A-B lane. You can do that in the GPS menu or with shortcuts. Let's start out with the menu. Drive to the field you want to start in, open the menu with Ctrl S, change to the Guidance Strategy tab. Now we want to set the starting point, so click on Set A and close the menu with Escape. You will now see an A character below your vehicle. Drive forward and you will see a line is being drawn. This helps you visualize the lane direction. When you are happy, open the menu and click Set B to finalize the lane. Then exit the menu. You can now see 3 lines showing you the center and the width of the lane. The next step is setting the width of the lane for your implement. You can either change the width manually or let the script recognize the width of the vehicle including an implement. Open the menu, go to the Guidance Settings tab and look for the width increment setting. Choose a value to add or subtract, then click on the Increment Width button to change the value. To recognize the width automatically, click on the Auto Width button. Exit the menu to look at the result. If you are happy, all that is left to do is activating the auto steer. To do that, open the menu, then in the Guidance Settings, activate the auto steer. You can do the same process using keyboard shortcuts. Click Alt-E to reset the track. Notice how the line changes. Click Alt-E again to set the starting point. An A character will appear below your vehicle. Drive forward to set the direction, then click Alt-E again to set the endpoint and notice how the new lane is created. To adapt the width, click Alt-R to automatically recognize it. Use Alt numpad plus and Alt numpad minus to increase or decrease the width. Finally, use Alt-X to activate autosteer. Notice how the center line changes color. If any of these shortcuts don't work, open the game settings and navigate to the shortcut tab. Check if it is to your liking. Configure whatever shortcuts you like and save them. That's it for the mod features at this point. As this is a beta version, sometimes a few things don't work. This will get fixed over time. For now, if you use the shortcuts for simple A/B GPS functionality, you shouldn't have any problems. We will show you two things you can modify. To follow our steps, you should know how to use an editor like Notepad++ and have an archiver like 7-zip available. First, this mod uses shortcuts and you can modify those in the shortcut menu. Now, if you have many mods that do the same, you can quickly lose sight of what options belong to what mod. In this case, we want to add a GPS tag to the shortcut names. You can find the names opening the archive, navigating to the translations folder, and opening the translation file you use. In our case, it's the translation_en.xml file. In the input section, you find the names for the shortcuts. Just modify the text parameter to your liking. Save and open up the game. You should now see your modifications. The second thing we want to change is the color and thickness of the guidance lines. Depending on your screen settings, you may find it difficult to see the dots. To do that, open the archive and navigate to the src folder, then the strategies folder, and in there open up the abstrategy.lua file. Look for the code block containing RGB white, RGB green and RGB blue. This is where you define a color. Now you can either change the values here or, as we prefer, add a new color. As an example, we add yellow. To do that, copy the previous line, name it RGB yellow and change the values to create a yellow color. There are 3 numbers that stand for RGB: red, green, blue. Yellow is a mix of red and green, thus we have to set the red and green value to 1. Just play around with these numbers to create your own colors. Now that we have defined a new color yellow, we need to tell the game to use it. For that, look at the next code block called abstrategy.ablines. Here we define the left, middle and right line. The left line uses RGB blue if inactive and RGB blue if active. Change both values to RGB yellow. You will have guessed that you can create additional colors and differentiate between the active and passive state. It's very easy to modify. Repeat the same for the right line and save. In-game, buy a vehicle with GPS and set up the lane. You should now see yellow lines instead of blue ones. Finally, we want to change the thickness of the dots to make them more visible. To do that, open up the same file and look for the local function draw steps code block. In there, search for the getCorrect text size parameter. There is a value of 0.018 between brackets. Change that value to your liking, for example to 0.05. Save the file. Open up the game, buy a vehicle with GPS and set up a lane. You will notice how the dots are a lot bigger now. Well, that's it from us, and keep in mind this mod is not finished yet. Have fun!